He's a cheesesteak aficionado from North Philadelphia. Please welcome Bill Landis. He's a flannel shirt wearing ding-dong from Central Ohio. Please welcome Doug Lesmerises here for the inaugural edition of Kings of the North Jeopardy. Bill Landis. This is either going to be the start of a beautiful KOTN tradition or a fascinating disaster. But how excited are we to play Kings of the North College Football Jeopardy?
I'm really excited. I'm from Northeast Philadelphia, not North Philadelphia.
And start over.
Start over the show, please.
And that's exactly what you would have told Alex Trebek. Alex, thanks for the intro, but let's get this straight right off the bat. So we are going to play Jeopardy. Our great producer, Mike Yourstowsky, is going to be our host. And we have a bunch of Northern college football categories that Mike has come up with questions. Bill and I do not know the questions or the answers. And we also have a category that Mike came up with called Southern Frauds that I hope to run the table in Stetson Bennett voice the whole time. But we do have, we'll do Whatcha Watching, What You Eating, What You Thinking, which is something we want to introduce here on Kings of the North. We do that on our other show a lot. But we also want to start off, Bill, with a little bit of news before we get into game time, because there have been a couple injuries in spring practice. As we've talked about, we previewed all 26 of our Northern teams getting ready for spring football practice. Everybody's rolling at this point. And there's a couple things, unfortunately, that have already happened. And we'll start with the injury to Rod Moore, the Michigan safety who tore his ACL. And that's probably it for the 2024 season for him. This is a really good player, one of the better safeties in the North. I think was third team All Big Ten last year. One of the few returning starters to Michigan's defense. Great player. And this is like the worst thing that can happen in sport.
Yeah, it's brutal on a lot of levels. Like one, Rod Moore would have been a draft pick this year had he decided to leave and go to the NFL. Like unquestionably would have been a draft pick. Probably would have been one of the better safeties in this draft. He elects to come back to Michigan, and this unfortunately happens. Then it's a huge blow to Michigan's defense because, as you said, they only had a handful of starters returning. You feel reasonably good about it when you have like a couple of veteran guys on the back end of your defense, which they had with Rod Moore, Makari Page, and Will Johnson. And now you lose one of those guys, and it's going to be a tough spot to fill for Michigan. They have some options, I think. So it's not, maybe not an insurmountable blow to them, but it is it's a shot nonetheless to a defense that I still think has a chance to be one of the best in the country. But certainly that becomes more difficult now when you take Rod Moore out of that equation.
They had lost 7 of their top 11 defenders by number of snaps last year to the NFL draft. As you said, the guys who were back, those 3 defensive backs plus Mason Graham up front. So now you lose one of your 4 most experienced defenders, played 500 snaps last year. Keon Sabb would have been a good fill-in here. He transferred to Alabama, like a really good young safety. So again, Quentin Johnson, who's a 6th-year guy, probably slides in here. A couple other younger guys that could have been in here. But Rod Moore, I think, is 27 career starter each of the last 2 years, started 4 games as a freshman in 2021. Has just been an absolute staple of the defense. And this is, a lot of programs don't play veteran guys a lot in the spring. And I don't know that, Michigan had a huge plan to get a ton of rep for guys like this. You got to play a little bit, but just really unfortunate. So the best to Rod Moore. And again, this is your life. This is your future. This is your money. This is why one of those, and I think we've gotten past this in college football. I don't think fans begrudge guys who go to the league. I think we're past that. I can't believe it, And so this is why. This is the reality, right? And I'm not saying that Rod Moore made a mistake by staying at Michigan, because with NIL, and hopefully he has an NIL package that obviously will still be there for him and that kind of thing. But you're at risk every time you step on a football field, whether it's for a game or for practice or, working out in the offseason. So best of luck to Rod Moore and Michigan. Notre Dame. Less serious injury, but also an injury again to one of the best defensive backs in the North. This time it's Ben Morrison, who had shoulder surgery, but it sounds like it's only going to knock him out for spring, not for the season. But man, when we talk about top 2 corners in the North, is it Will Johnson at Michigan and Ben Morrison at Notre Dame? Certainly Denzel Burke at Ohio State would have something to say about that. Probably Jabbar Muhammad, transfer from Washington to Oregon, would have something to say about that. But again, Ben Morrison is an All-American candidate. It's going to be out for spring.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Morrison's in that conversation. I think he's arguably Notre Dame's best defensive player. Those tackles are pretty good, but Ben Morrison's a really good player. I think he was a freshman All-American, right? And then he played well last year. The thing that's odd about this is, they say like back for the 2024 season, but they didn't say the start of the 2024 season. So I'm I'm a little curious if it might bleed into the first couple of weeks of the fall. We don't know that yet. But it's a setback either way. And like, Notre Dame is has not had the best spring in terms of injury luck. Like nothing as serious as you said, like Rod Moore's injury, but Ben Morrison is now out. Riley Leonard, their transfer quarterback from Duke, is out for the rest of spring after a second surgery on his injured ankle that he injured against Notre Dame last year while playing for Duke. So it's not great in South Bend at the moment, but nothing that makes me think right now that the projections for next fall should be adjusted, but they got to get these guys back.
Jaden Mickey's a really good player. Christian Gray there at corner. Yeah. Clarence Lewis is a guy who had been a starter at Notre Dame in the past. So it is one of those things. My least favorite thing is why does this bother me so much? I hate silver linings. Like every cloud has a silver lining. I like to remind people that no, sometimes things are just terrible. There's nothing good. Sometimes if people say to themselves, you know what, I'd like to be optimistic about this unfortunate thing. And I like to come in and say, no, there's no good here. This is only bad. So, because sometimes as soon as you're like, next man up and that kind of thing. Spring injuries to veterans. Rod Moore's a different situation because he's out for the year. But like Ben Morris doesn't need snaps, right? Do you believe sometimes, and again, some coaches pull back on their veteran snaps in the spring and you get more snaps for other guys. Could this now I'm doing it. I'm just fully doing it. The silver lining. Could this fortify? You get more snaps for the rest of the guys in Notre Dame's defensive backfield. And by the time you get to October, you're ready to roll?
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Like it's not, if there's something going on with Ben Morrison's shoulder or again, like Riley Leonard's ankle, and you think to yourself like, oh, we can wait till after spring to do that. Like just do it. Like they don't need it. Just get it done now. Give them as much time as you possibly can to recover and get ready for the fall. And then there is a trade-off there, or not even a trade-off. I guess it's like a added benefit of a bad situation to get more snaps for your younger players. Yeah. And they are, like, as you mentioned, they're deep-ish at corner. Like I think cornerback is at least a position that Notre Dame like feels okay about, even behind Ben Morrison. So like there's guys there that need more snaps probably, and they can take advantage of it now. So as long as Ben Morrison's ready for the fall, then I think there's not a whole lot of damage done here.
And probably actually offensively, Riley Leonard being out with Mike Denbrock as a new offensive coordinator. Anytime you got like a new guy in the building, a new play caller in the building, it's nice. It's a new quarterback in the building who's a transfer. But Ben Morrison's been around with these defensive coaches, so they should be okay. So we just want everyone to be healthy in spring. We just want everyone, this is the toughest time to get hurt because it's the appetizer. You didn't even get to the entree yet. It's like you fill up on the bread and the apps. It's like, I can't even eat this steak. So best of luck to everybody getting healthy and getting everybody else out there get through spring healthy. When we come back, it's time for Bill Landis to just absolutely drill me into the ground with football knowledge. We'll do that next on Jeopardy on Kings of the North. All right, time for something new here on Kings of the North. Bill, you find it appropriate for us to do Kings of the North Jeopardy because you consider Jeopardy to be of the North, yes?
Yeah, of course. Alex Trebek is Canadian. He's from the Great White North. And I assume that Ken Jennings is from Utah. He's got Utah vibes, but I don't actually know that for sure. Let me do a quick Google here.
You said that pre-show so authoritatively. It's like you've been to his house.
Well, he went to BYU. That's why I assume that. But he's from Washington, so he's doubly of the North.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
He's of the Big Ten now. He's from Washington.
That's right. So, do you want me to look up where Mayim Bialik is from?
Yeah, you may as well. Actually, let's just look up where everybody who has ever been on Jeopardy has been from.
Yeah.
So it does have.
She's from San Diego, so she can go.
She's out.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, so she can cram it. So we're going to do here. We're going to play. Bill and I are going to play, and we have, I think, 5 categories. We have 4 questions each, and then we have a final Jeopardy category. And we believe that Jeopardy will not sue us for this. And if they do sue us, they'll sue our host, Mike Yourstowsky. So, Mike, come on in and be the subject of the civil lawsuit for stealing their idea, but also host the show.
Let me mic unmute myself. But yeah, we're just doing this for fun. I mean, there's nothing that they should sue us for. We're just here to have a good time.
You don't need a lot to sue somebody, Mike.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Sounds like an opening statement you would say from the witness stand. We're just here to have a good time, man. So
yeah. Welcome to Jeopardy, though. I mean, we got 2 great contestants. They went through an extensive process to get on the show. We had a lot of candidates, so we settled on you two, which we're very excited about. So let's get right into it. So let's we'll add the game to the stage here. So there's our title here. So we will kind of explain the rules so that you guys are going to go back and forth, pick the categories. Whoever is up. So we're not going to do a buzz in, buzz out. We're just going to go back and forth of whose turn it is. And if it's your turn, you get it right, you get the points. If you don't, the other person can steal the points. Is essentially as simple as we can explain it. So you two would like to decide which player shall go first.
Bill,
we'll let Doug go first. Oh, okay. I'll go first. That's fine. I'll go first. Do we have to answer in the form of a question?
That's up to you. I mean, I don't think it's you won't lose points for it, but yeah, I mean, if you can do it for the fun of it, yeah, why not?
You don't have to do it in the form of a question, but you do have to do it in the Southern accent.
Yeah, I'd rather do it in the form of a question. And there's a daily double available. Is there not?
There are two. There are two daily doubles.
Really?
All right.
I think there were daily double. Oh boy, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah,
okay.
So pick your categories and your questions strategically.
Yeah.
Why don't we let's run through, Mike? Tell everybody what the categories are.
Yeah. So we'll go to the game board here. So let's here are the game boards. So the categories are Northern coaches, Northern Heismans, current Northern pros. So these are all players that are currently in the NFL that went to a Northern school. Northern history, which is about more than just football. It's about some of these Northern schools' campuses, the schools in general, and then Southern frauds, which kind of explains itself. Also, I should mention the Northern coaches is about all current Northern coaches as well.
Okay.
Those are our 5 categories.
No double entendres. No double entendres in here, right?
No.
Okay.
No potent potables. You couldn't get a potent potable in there. Okay. All right.
All right. So those are our categories. So Northern coaches, Northern Heismans, current Northern pros, Northern history, and Southern frauds, and then we have a final Jeopardy at the end.
I feel like if this screenshot of this game is this show in a nutshell. It's like, it's like, oh, Southern frauds. I get it. I know what these guys are doing now. Thanks. So spread the word. I figured you
guys would like that title.
Yeah.
Quintessential KOTN.
Yeah.
All right. So I get to go first.
All right. Yeah. So what we're going to do, so we're both going to keep track of you guys are going to keep track of your own money. I'm going to also do it as well, just to double check. I'm just going to write this out.
And as we're setting the rules live on the show rather than doing it before we started recording.
Yeah. That's the beauty of Kings of the North.
Are we doing it like regular Jeopardy with a daily double? Like if you don't have any money, you can still wager $1,000, or how do we want to do that?
You know a lot of Jeopardy rules.
Yeah, he does.
I watch a lot of Jeopardy.
Bill and I went through this yesterday. I was just kind of showing him, and he's like asking me. I'm like, honestly, I haven't watched Jeopardy in like 4 years, so I don't know.
I watch it every night.
Okay.
So if you hit the daily double and you have no money, you can wager up to $1,000.
Yes. Thank you for preparing for my eventuality when that happens.
Do you want to do because 800 is our max? Okay, let's do $800.
Okay.
Yeah, up to $800. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're listening on a podcast, our number it's 200, 400, 600, 800.
Yeah.
So we have 20 questions total.
Yeah, 4 questions a category, 5 categories.
Right. Perfect.
All right, so here we go. Let's begin. So,
Bill, do you want to? Bill, are we going to stop in the middle for people to talk about like their hobbies, how they
where
come
you're
over
from
and do that?
Yeah. Just tell the most boring thing about yourself.
Yeah, we could do that.
And then Mike has to pretend like it's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, here, Bill. It says you've consumed 7,000 cheesesteaks in your life.
That's low.
Yeah,
that's low.
That's the daily double. How many cheesesteaks has Bill Landis consumed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right.
I am gonna go. Give me Northern coaches for $600, please.
Northern coaches for $600. All right, here we go. First question. This Northern coaches team was picked to finish last in their conference in 2023. However, the team went 9-4 and led the nation in passes defended and pass breakups.
That would be Neil Brown from West Virginia.
Answer is Neil Brown of West Virginia. That is correct. So that is 600 points for Bill.
I didn't know that one.
All right. Doug knew that one.
Can I have half? Because I knew it in my head, even though I didn't say it.
Cannot
Can I have half?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of mad.
All right. So now we're on to Bill's first question is.
All right. So I'm going to go with Northern Heismans for 200.
Northern Heismans for 200. All right. Question is, this Northern Heisman is the last Heisman winner of the North and was only offered 2 scholarships from FBS programs out of high school.
I'm going to go with who is Marcus Mariota from Oregon.
Who is Marcus Mariota is correct. That is correct.
Ask, Bill, did you study?
No. I ran through some Northern Heisman winners, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not cheating. Studying's not cheating, is it? That's not. I mean, you're allowed to learn. No. Learning information is allowed in our game. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called being prepared.
That's right. Back to me.
Can I just say, Mike, the phrasing of your questions, just spectacular. Just the way you wrote them out. They sound like Jeopardy questions, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to, like I said, I haven't watched Jeopardy in a while. So I looked up, what is the official wording of Jeopardy questions? And I was like, oh, so this is how I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's right.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay. I will go, give me Northern history for 800, please.
Northern
Look at you. You're going for this is like top level strategy, going for the big numbers first. Okay. I know what I'm up against now.
All right, here we go. Northern history for 800. This Northern school is home to the first ever university-owned airport in the United States, which was established in 1930.
Airport question. You want 800 for an airport question?
What is the University of Washington?
What is the University of Washington? So now it is not. That is not correct. So I'm not going to reveal the answer because we have Doug has a chance to get it. So I'm not going to reveal the answer yet. So let me read the question again.
Bill's getting minus 800 for this, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
You're getting.
Yes.
Am I going to get minus? Do I get minus if I get it wrong?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
No. So right now, Bill should be minus 200.
200. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the question again is, this Northern school is home to the first ever university-owned airport in the United States, which was established in 1930.
I'm going to say, what is the University of Iowa?
What is the University of Iowa? That is incorrect. It is the University of Purdue.
That's where they train the astronauts. They train them at the airport.
I thought Washington. I thought Washington because of Boeing.
Yep. University of Purdue.
Don't say that. They don't want to be associated with Boeing right now. Okay.
That's true. Purdue
what a good airport themed question. Okay.
That's a great question. Yeah.
That was a great question. Okay.
Right. You think they'd be known for trains, as the Boilermakers, but no.
That's true.
No.
They should change it.
Their aviation.
Put a man on the moon.
Change it.
Yeah, that's right. They did. Yes.
They got in that plane. Yeah. Flew straight to the moon in a plane. I think that's how they got there.
Now we see that Bill's strategy has backfired a little bit. Now he's in the negative.
My strategy is not to go after the largest dollar amounts. My strategy is to find the daily doubles.
Oh,
also valid.
My strategy is to avoid airport questions. So I'm going to go with Northern Heismans for 400.
Northern Heismans for 400. All right, here we go. This Northern Heisman started his career as a running back before moving to quarterback. His winning year, he received 86.7% of the Heisman vote, the second highest percentage in the history of the award.
I'm going to say I feel like the question got significantly more difficult from 200 to 400. I am going to say...
We're testing your knowledge.
Man, I'm between two. I'm going to say, who is Eric Crouch from the University of Nebraska?
Okay, that is incorrect.
Oh.
Okay.
So now Doug is also at minus 200.
If we both end up negative, we're deleting this show.
That's right. Actually, that would be quite fitting when we both ended the negative.
Yeah, and then next time I know I have to make them a lot easier. All right, so let me read the question again, Bill. This Northern Heisman started his career as a running back before moving to quarterback. His winning year, he received 86.7% of the Heisman vote, the second highest percentage in the history of the award.
Is it Troy Smith?
It is Troy Smith, I bet.
And it is Troy Smith. Correct.
I knew. See, that's bad. By
What
me,
was that?
'cause
Was
I
for
knew Troy
400,
had a-
right?
That was 400. So Bill is
Okay,
back
so
for
back.
plus 200.
I knew Troy had a huge percentage. I covered the Troy. Was in New York when he walked up the steps and accepted the award, and I knew his percentage was super high because Adrian Peterson was really the other candidate that year and hurt his shoulder in like early November, and it was like, this is it. Troy is moonwalking to this award. I should have gotten that. That's bad by me. Troy's going to be mad at me now. Okay. Troy, when after he graduated, lived like a block from me for a little bit, but then he moved once he found out that I lived nearby. It's like, oh,
and that you
I'm
didn't
out.
know his Heisman stats.
Yeah, too close to
know.
death. Yeah,
that was bad by me.
Right.
Okay, back to me.
Back to Bill.
Give me Northern coaches for 400, please.
Northern coaches for 400. Here we go. This Northern coach grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, and has produced 14 draft picks over the past 3 drafts. The 14 are the most of any ACC program.
Who is Pat Narduzzi?
Who is Pat Narduzzi is correct.
See, that's
Pat
just
Narduzzi.
such good, because then like there's a little ACC nugget in the question right there at the end. Mike you're going to leave us. You're going to leave us to write
I'm going to
questions.
go take over. As my name says, I am Mike Jennings, so I'm going to go take that as official.
Mike, how
As
many
my name
Youngstown
says.
themed questions are in this game?
That was just the only one. That was the only
Okay.
one. Me being a Youngstown guy, I had the birthplace of grit and college football in general. So I had to throw at least one of those.
The
in there.
birthplace of
That's
rust, I think. Is what
Yeah.
Youngstown
Well,
is.
that too. Yeah. All right,
This
so that was
Jeopardy
400.
host grew up in Youngstown and is doing a great job writing these questions. Who is
That's it.
Mike Yourstowsky?
All right, so Bill's at 600. Doug, you were still minus 200. So this is a big question here.
All right, Northern Heisman's for 600, please.
Northern Heisman's for 600. Daily double.
Hey.
Ooh.
There we go. So would we like to reveal how much we're going to wager first?
Yeah, what's the max I can wager? 1,000?
800.
800.
800. I'm wagering 800.
All right,
All
he's
right.
wagering 800. All right, so the question is, this Northern Heisman winner became his school's 7th Heisman winner and is now only one of 3 wide receivers to win the award.
Who is Notre Dame's Tim Brown?
Who is Notre Dame's Tim Brown is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It's big.
So that is
I
an
will
8
admit, I read the question before I gave what I was going to.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but that's all right.
That's okay.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
we're limited by.
All right, that's 800 more
Yeah,
for me.
we're limited in what we can do.
Yeah, that is 800 to you.
That is 800.
800
So
me.
that
So
is
now I'm up to 600 total.
so you
we're
both
tied.
All right,
are at
I feel good about
600.
that. I would have known that anyway.
Yeah, I
Tim Brown.
figured you
The
would.
great Tim Brown.
All right, so you both are at
Congratulations to me.
600. So we got a tie ball game here.
Okay. I will go current Northern pros for 800, please.
Current Northern pros for 800. Here we go. This Northern Pro cornerback was named first team All-Pro his rookie season, becoming the first rookie cornerback to achieve the honor since Ronnie Lott in 1981.
Boy, I wish I would not have picked this question. Who is Denzel Ward?
Who's Denzel Ward is incorrect.
I think I know it. I think I know it.
Go ahead.
Great. Let's hear it.
Let me
Who's
actually start. Let me read the question one more time. This Northern Pro cornerback was named first team All-Pro his rookie season, becoming the first rookie cornerback to achieve the honor since Ronnie Lott in 1981. Doug, your answer is?
Who is Marshawn Lattimore?
Who is Marshawn Lattimore is incorrect. It is Sauce Gardner.
Saucy.
Sauce Gardner of Cincinnati.
Because Marshawn was the defensive rookie of the year. Man, Sauce. Congratulations to Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Great Cincinnati player.
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
awesome.
So
First team
Landis,
All-Pro.
least I didn't
No,
get my
no.
minus. Okay.
Yeah. So Doug, you minus nothing. Bill's down to.
Man, saucy.
I'm just fluctuating between
Yes.
minus 200 and 600.
Yeah, you really are. Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
here we go. Doug, you're up.
All right. We've been waiting too long on this. Let's go Southern frauds for 200.
Southern frauds for 200. Here we go. This Southern school suffered a 42-35 loss in the 2014 college football playoff semifinal while being 9-point favorites.
I would not normally besmirch the good name of the South, but I will jump in to say the Alabama Crimson Tide as 9-point favorites loses to the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Alabama is your answer, and that is correct. That is the Alabama Crimson Tide. So Alabama.
Also acceptable is certainly not the Georgia Bulldogs. It's an acceptable, correct answer.
That's it. That is also valid. So that's plus 200. So now Doug is at 800.
All right.
Bill is minus 200.
We'll stay with Southern frauds for 400, please.
Southern frauds for 400. This Southern school lost its first non-conference home game in 6,217 days when they lost 24-21 to Troy, while also paying Troy $985,000 to take part in the game.
Man, it's great. It's great.
We actually have a whole episode that is nothing but Southern fraud questions.
Just Southern frauds.
Yeah.
Who is LSU?
Who is LSU is correct. Yes, that is the LSU Tigers.
Well done. Well done,
Yes.
Landis.
That was in Saban's first year, wasn't it?
No, this was
more recently.
This was more recent. This was, I believe, 2017.
Didn't Saban lose a bye game like his first year at LSU?
I think that sounds right.
I think
the reason I remember this game. Yeah, the reason I remember this game is because after it happened, I believe it was LSU's homecoming game this game, and like Troy tweeted at them like "Have a good homecoming" or something like thanks for the paycheck or something. Yeah.
Did you just Google Southern frauds to see what comes up? Like information. This is so good. Okay, I'm just enjoying it.
Saban lost to UAB his first year.
Nicely done. Well, that's probably the $800 question.
Hey,
this Hall of Fame coach lost to the 19th best team in Alabama. All right, I'm going to go Northern Heismans for 800, please.
Northern Heismans for 800. Here we go. This Northern Heisman is his alma mater's only Heisman winner and was unfortunately killed in action while serving in World War II.
So this is unfair to me. I thought that this might come up. This person is from the same town that my wife is from, and my nephew is named for this person. And the answer is, who is Iowa's Niall Kinnick? And hello to my nephew, Niall.
That is correct. Wow. That is, I didn't know any of that. So that was, that's just ironic that it happened, but wow, very unfortunate for Bill that question came.
Are there any questions about my family members on here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I put any in there. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Niall Kinnick.
Yeah, just checking. No, I'm getting smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,600 now.
It's a good pull. It's a good pull.
Yeah,
1,600 to 200. Pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, game's not over. A lot of game left.
That's true.
But also I did not know that about him, which was very interesting to read about him.
Why it's Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was also
Go ahead. Grew up with Bob Feller. Bob Feller's like from the town down the road.
No kidding. Wow.
You think about
he was also the team's leading passer as well. He did everything. He kicked, he passed, he ran the ball. I think he also had like 6 interceptions. So yeah, he was a beast.
That would be an interesting thing to maybe do sometime, Doug. Like northern towns that have random northern towns that have produced like the most athletes or most because I think there's
Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, Youngstown, Ohio, but there's a town in Ohio that like Phil Negro's from, and like I think like Lou Groza.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, is it Martin's Ferry? I think it might be Martin's Ferry.
I'm all for random northern towns of the north, which is redundant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We can travel there and go to like their high schools or something.
Yeah.
We could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
I need to get back in the game here.
I think Northern Heisman's is done. I think
done.
we've done that
Yes.
entire category.
That is right. I will close out Northern coaches then for 800, or is it 200 still available?
No, yeah, there's 200 and 800.
All right, give me 800. Northern coaches
800?
for 800. Yeah,
Okay.
we're chasing.
Right. Northern coaches for 800. This Northern coach is tied for the second longest current tenured head coach at the same school and has finished with a winning record every year but 2 as the head coach.
Who is Kirk Ferentz?
Who's Kirk Ferentz? That is incorrect.
Because I think Ferentz is the longest tenured. I'll say who is Kyle Whittingham at Utah?
Who is Kyle Whittingham is correct.
Yes.
It's Kyle Whittingham.
Kyle Whittingham.
Yep.
Every year but
So
2 is remarkable.
Yeah.
This is why. But I will say, like when we do our coaching rankings and stuff, Bill, you and I always give a lot of respect to Kyle Whittingham, and like we don't give enough respect to Kirk Ferentz because there had been this albatross around him. And so this idea, I think this is the year when everybody has a greater appreciation for what Kirk Ferentz has done at Iowa. So
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that time is coming. But to think about makes me wonder who Kyle Whittingham is tied with. But yeah, that is both those guys have been doing it a long time.
Yeah, I did not look that up, but
Gundy? Look that up. Okay. Let's go current Northern pros for 200, please.
Current Northern pros for 200. This Northern pro is the lowest drafted quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl.
I'm going to say a man who I picked to make the college football playoff in his last year and was incorrect, and that is, who is Iowa State's Brock Purdy?
Iowa State's Brock Purdy is correct. That is Brock Purdy.
Some Cyclone knowledge in there. That's a good question. It's a good $200 question.
Yeah, plus 2,600. All right, here
Bill,
we go.
you can do it. Don't be discouraged, Bill.
There is another daily double out there, Bill.
Yeah, it's just another hole for me to dig myself. Give me Northern history for 400, please.
Northern history for 400. Daily double. He found it. All right, I'm assuming he's going to wager all 800.
Yes, please. Well, wager all 800.
He's going all 800. Okay, so bubblegum, as I see, I spelled that wrong.
I like
bubblegum.
Manufacturing question. It's a manufacturing question.
Bubblegum vinyl and synthetic rubber were invented at this Northwest school.
What is the University of Oregon?
What is University of Oregon is incorrect.
What?
So it's the other one?
Yes. I was when I was making this comment, like there's gonna be 2 schools that they're gonna guess.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
All right. We just changed my total to minus $1,400.
Yeah.
So you did.
I thought rubber ducks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't study synthetic rubber a little more.
I forgot.
And bubblegum.
College
Or
football.
bubble gun.
You know what the problem is? I studied bubble guns and not bubble guns.
Yeah, that was the problem right there.
I'll say
those were invented in Oregon.
Of Washington.
Washington is your answer?
Washington is my answer.
That is correct. University of Washington.
Oh man.
Yep.
How much was that for?
400.
400. So I'm up to 3,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Bill is down to what?
Minus 1,400.
You're okay. It's okay. You can do it.
I will say,
you gotta do Final Jeopardy by yourself.
This could be unfair because I did not know this about Doug, and I don't know if this is accurate. But last night, I was talking to a friend of mine, Andy Jardy, who said that Doug, you were once on Stump the Schwab.
That is correct.
Yeah. So this
was
might
it
have been
mentioned
unfair from the get go.
that I won? I didn't. I made it to the final against the Schwab.
Won? Wow.
And then
so
the
this might be
Schwab.
unfair now.
The Schwab schwabbed me up, man. I was
Wow.
I got smoked, but they said so it's like you get nothing. I got no money for getting to the final because I didn't beat the Schwab. And they said they would send me like an ESPN and like record book, like ESPN encyclopedia record book as never sent it. I never got it. I didn't get one thing. I didn't get a single thing for getting
Wow.
to the final. But Stuart Scott was the host, which was awesome. And yeah, I got to meet the Schwab, and like they were having tryouts. It's right before I moved to Ohio to start covering Ohio State. So I was in Wilmington, Delaware. They were having tryouts in Philly, and they were like desperate. So I went to this bar in Philly and tried out, and I made it. And then they were sort of like, we still need people. So I told my friend to do it. And like, he went the next week and tried out, and he also made it. So it was like, if there were like 32 people who were ever on Stump the Schwab, 2 of them were like me and my best friend.
Wow.
And,
nice.
it was so fun. There was a category where they showed a sports photo and they cut somebody out of the photo, and you had to say who the person was that was missing in the photo. And like, I was really good at that. One of them was like the Jeremy Giambi play, where like the Jeter relay, right, was a little late in Giambi. So like, I knew Jeremy Giambi. One of them was when Tom Watson like made a run at the Masters late in his life in the 90s. And his caddy was Bruce Edwards, who was like battling a disease at the time. And they cut out Bruce Edwards. Like, I knew who Tom Watson's caddy was and stuff like that. So anyway, and then I got to Final Jeopardy. I got to Final Schwab time. And this is actually embarrassing. The first thing I got wrong, the answer was Dan Monson as the guy who like was at Gonzaga and then went to Minnesota. And I got it wrong. I called him Glenn Monson. And it was like, okay, I'm dead. I called him Glenn. They were like, get out of here. And then the Schwab destroyed me.
Is there video?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Was this on TV?
Yeah, it was on ESPN. So,
Wow.
I've never seen it like since it aired. So I don't. Yeah, there's like.
We're gonna look it up after this.
I mean, you guys know me, right? Do you know how many times I've Googled myself and Schwab looking to soothe my own ego by trying to find myself on TV? Like, I do it 5 times a day to see if it pops up. So if it's like on 3 o'clock in the morning,
they got to have it in the archive somewhere.
Yeah. So I was very young. I was very young and handsome then. Anyway,
nice.
I'm totally prepped for this.
Yeah,
no offense to you, Landis, but you're no Schwab. Landis.
Listen, in 1997, my dad and I won the trivia at the ESPN restaurant that used to be on the boardwalk in Disney World. So like, I got a little history there too.
Wow.
Right?
Did you get like an appetizer? If you did, you got more than I did. So like, this is.
I think we did. I think we got like a gift card that we could use for our lunch. Yeah.
And that is better than what I did.
I was born, so make you guys feel very young.
Oh, nice. I was like, I'm
gonna
9.
write that down. Okay. In case there's an answer about Mike, what year was Mike born? Okay. Yeah. Is it me? Is it me and my $3,000?
No, it's me and my negative $1,400. Give me.
No way. I think it's Doug.
No, Doug just did the last one, didn't he?
No, you did, and you missed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Oregon Washington thing, right?
Yeah, you did the daily double.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Doug.
I'm sorry. I was just trying. I could have gave it to you. I just
trying to steal money.
Yeah. Let's go Northern coaches for 200, please.
Northern coaches for 200. Here we go. This Northern coach is the only athlete ever to play in both a Super Bowl, which he did twice, and the World Series.
Who is Colorado's Deion Sanders?
Who is Deion Sanders is correct. That is correct. Yeah.
I almost said PJ Fleck. I almost, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
he only played in the Super Bowl once.
He was a left guard and a designated hitter.
Right.
Brett Bielema only played the Super Bowl once.
So Doug, 3,200 now.
3,200.
All right.
Let's go.
Only Northern history left.
I know, but I don't want to get myself further in a hole. Yeah. Northern history for 600, please.
Northern history for 600. This Northern school is home to the esteemed Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film.
I have no idea where Johnny Carson went to college.
It's one of the schools in the North.
Well, thank you. That limits it.
Doug knows it too. I know he does.
Probably. Great. What is Northwestern?
What is Northwestern is incorrect.
Okay.
So My dad looked a little bit like Johnny Carson, so I don't know if this is why I know this, but I'm assuming it's at his alma mater, and so I will say, what is Nebraska?
What is Nebraska is correct. Yes, it is Nebraska.
Bill, you keep doing the category that is not about football. You've gotten manufacturing questions, airport questions, and film school questions.
Yeah. I'm just chasing the money. I'm going where the money is, man.
I have avoided that category. Next time we do this, there definitely has to be an offensive line category.
Please.
Yeah.
And punters.
I like that. Yeah, we'll change the categories up for sure.
We actually should have, the next time we should have a punting category.
Punters of the North.
Okay,
I'll do Southern frauds for 600, please.
Southern frauds for 600. This Southern school had a 35-game home winning streak snapped when it lost to Stanford in 2007 as a 41-point favorite.
I believe they lost to Stanford and Jim Harbaugh, son of the North. I will say, what is USC?
What is USC is correct. And yes, that was Jim Harbaugh's first year at Stanford.
Son of the North.
Is that when him and Pete Carroll got into it after the game? Pete Carroll said, what's your problem? Yeah.
What's his problem?
Little did he know.
I think Pete Carroll had a problem losing us 41-point favorite.
That's right.
Should we reset? Should we just reset? Just reset real quick. Just reset.
Yeah.
I have 4,400.
Yes.
Yeah. I have
Bill has minus 2,000. So
minus 2,000.
He's going to kick me off the show. Me after the show.
Yeah.
So we're not going to pay him. He's going to pay me.
Can I pay in installments? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say Bill's knowledge of football is so vastly superior to mine. It's just that Bill didn't know where Johnny Carson went to college. That's really what all of this is about.
Yeah.
So
I did not know where Johnny Carson went to college.
This is my kind of
left. We have a current Northern Pros for 400, current Northern Pros for 600, Northern History for 200, and Southern Frauds for 800.
Okay. Give me current Northern Pros for 400, please.
Current Northern Pros for 400. This Northern Pro wide receiver led his team in both receptions and receiving yards during his 2022 rookie season. He also won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month for September in 2022.
Oh, man. 22. Who is Garrett Wilson?
Who is Garrett Wilson is incorrect.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm bad at years of when things happened.
This Northern Pro wide receiver led his team in both receptions and receiving yards during his 2022 rookie season. He also won Offensive Rookie of the Month in September of that year.
Okay. I'll say who is Chris Olave.
Who is Chris Olave is correct.
One or the other.
Is another one of those that was one or the other, and Doug or Bill guessed the other.
How much was that for? That was for 400?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll do Northern History for 200 in case it's about like where asphalt was invented, and I don't want Bill to have to do that.
Northern History for 200. This Northern school is home to one of the nation's best communication schools, the Newhouse School of Public Communication.
Cool. You got the journalism school one, Doug. Congratulations.
I did apply to this school. I did not attend it, but I will say, what is Syracuse?
What is Syracuse is correct.
Also, the family that owns the company that you and I used to work for.
That's correct. This family signed Doug's paycheck for 18 years.
Yes.
I got bubble gum. That's what I got. I got bubble gum. Okay.
Oh man.
So we have current Northern Pros for 600 and Southern Frauds for 800.
Give me Southern Frauds for 800, please.
Southern Frauds for 800 it is. This Southern school held a 47-game winning streak before losing 7-0 to Notre Dame in 1957, which marked this team's first shutout loss in 123 games.
What is Texas?
What is Texas is incorrect.
Every question I got in here was like, what happened last year? And Bill's is like,
Yeah, he
what
did.
happened 60 years ago?
Yeah, he did. You're right.
Hold on, I gotta do math. Oh, minus $3,200 for me. Okay.
So, Doug,
I'll
this
say-
Southern school held a 47-game winning streak before losing 7-0 to Notre Dame in 1957, which marked this team's first shutout loss in 123 games.
I'll say, what is Oklahoma?
What is Oklahoma is correct. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Again, it's like an either or. It was
It's one or the
probably.
other. Yeah.
What was that for? How much money was that for?
That was
It
800.
doesn't matter.
It was 800. I mean,
Yeah.
I just would like to get it right.
It's just like the gambling show we do on the Ohio State podcast. Here I am in the
What's the
negative.
fake
again.
money count? Okay, so is this the last one?
This
Yeah.
is
Is that
the
our
last
final?
one. Yes,
Okay.
we're down to current Northern pros for 600, and it is this Northern pro led the NFL with 22.5 sacks in 2021, tying Hall of Famer Michael Strahan for the most in a season since 1982.
Oh man, I don't know if I know this for sure. Northern Pro. I am not 2021, so that's pretty recent. I am actually not very sure of this, so I'll say who is TJ Watt.
Who is TJ Watt is correct.
Oh, Bill, did you know that?
As you were talking, I figured it out, and then you said the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, it was TJ Watt. Yep.
Okay.
So, as we head into Final Jeopardy, Doug is at 6,400 and Bill is at minus 3,200.
Hey, Bill,
I
how'd the football trivia go? I didn't know where Johnny Carson went to college.
will say Bill started so strong. He got the first question, had 600 points, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pause before we do Final Jeopardy. I will tell you, Final Jeopardy is also a Northern Heisman question.
Okay, not Northern
Final
history.
Jeopardy is a Northern Heisman question. We'll pause. We'll take a break, and then we will reveal the question. Let them answer it. Give them 20, 30 seconds, and then we will reveal the answer. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right, and we will be right back. All right, we're back here on Kings of the North Jeopardy. It is time for our Final Jeopardy. The question pertains in the Northern Heisman category, so we shall reveal the question now. Final Jeopardy question is, name the first African-American Heisman Trophy winner in the school he attended. We will give the guys about 20 to 30 seconds, and then we will start with Bill, and then we will go to Doug. So again, the Final Jeopardy question is, name the first African-American Heisman Trophy winner in the school he attended. I will give him about 10 more seconds. So again, the question is, name the first African-American Heisman Trophy winner in the school he attended.
I'm going to buy with all my money. I got to think. I'm going to buy with my fake money.
And 5.
Bill's got it. I feel good. Bill's got it.
2, 1. Time is up. So now, here we go. So Bill, we're going to go to you full. You are going to reveal your answer.
Okay. I didn't know the answer, so I wrote bubble gum. University of Washington.
In the University of Washington. That is unfortunately incorrect.
Okay.
What'd you wager
Incorrect.
on bubblegum?
I didn't have any. I don't have anything to wager. Just
couldn't
along for the
wager.
ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Doug, we'll go to you now full.
Okay. I wagered $6,398.
Okay.
Okay. And my answer is
6,398.
Ernie Davis of Syracuse.
Ernie Davis of Syracuse is his answer, and the answer is Ernie Davis of Syracuse. Yes, that is correct. So, Doug, you are the winner of Kings of the North Jeopardy, the inaugural Kings of the North Jeopardy. How does it feel?
I would just like to say to the world, bring it. Come on here and try to beat me. Bring it. I'm back. Take that, Schwab. I've been waiting 20 years for a chance to get on a sports show and dominate again after the Schwab buried me. And I'm back. Bring it. If you think we'll have guests, we'll have viewers on, we'll have listeners on, and if you think you're from the South and you think you can bring this to me, bring it. I feel good.
I like it.
If you guys thought I was an egomaniac before I won KOTN Jeopardy, watch out now. This is a whole new show now. Oh,
that's funny. You're welcome. Happy to play my part.
Yeah. Once I found out last night that he was on Stump the Schwab, I was like, man, maybe I should have made him a little bit harder for him.
Yeah.
Ernie Davis, did you know that he unfortunately passed away at a young age too? He was drafted and then traded to the Browns, and him and Jim Brown would have been in the same backfield.
I did know,
which would have been incredible.
Story. Syracuse's only Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's Kings of the North Jeopardy. I'm gonna jump out of here. You guys can finish it up, and
great job.
Get on our way.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for playing, guys. I look forward to the next one.
I think maybe the show, we're going to get to 5 days a week eventually. I think maybe it's not a sports discussion show anymore. It's just a trivia show every day. Mike's fiance is like, what do you do? It's like, I have to make up 20 more questions by tomorrow morning. All right. So that was fun, Bill. Let's do what you're watching, what you eating, what you're thinking before you have to get out of here and actually go be a reporter again at Ohio State practice. What are you watching lately, Bill Landis?
I realized like the other day that I had like never seen the film Sicario like all the way through. Like I've seen it like in bits and pieces. And so I like sat down and watched the whole thing the other day. And it's like I knew it was good, but like it's excellent. It was like I watched it through one time and I was like, I think this is one of my favorite movies now. It's really, and the reason I watched it is because the guy that directed Dune directed it. And like it's really well directed. And the guy who wrote, I actually didn't know this until afterward. Like the guy like who wrote like Yellowstone and created Yellowstone is also the guy who wrote that movie and its sequel. So it's really good. It is intense and graphic, like violent, but really, really good. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, I suggest seeing it. It's been out for many, many years. So, but it is a very good movie, and yeah, it was an enjoyable experience.
If you haven't caught us doing this before, what you watching, what you eating, what you thinking, is we talk about a thing, a movie or a TV show. We talk about a food we consume, and then we just talk about something that's on our mind. Is Sicario, is that about astronauts or drugs?
It is about drugs.
Okay. Yeah. I get confused sometimes, which is because I think there's an astronaut movie that's kind of called that or whatever, because both of those could be intense, right?
Yeah, that's true. And you combine them together. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You get really crazy.
That's never been done. We're onto something here. They got in their plane at Purdue. They flew their plane to the moon, and unbeknownst to them, their moon plane was filled with drugs. Brought to you by KOTN Studios. So I am in a hotel room. As people can tell, we were so excited on the last show for my gray wall that we have now in my home studio. This is not a gray wall behind me. I'm in a hotel room because we're on a college tour with my daughter, and I have found, I think maybe we've talked about this before, I do not watch Shark Tank in my home. When I am in a hotel, the only thing I watch is Shark Tank. I could watch 9 episodes of Shark Tank in a row. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's a captive audience. It's kind of on at night. They run a lot back to back. I feel like when I'm in my house and I have all my streaming passwords and there's things you can do, it's not where I go. My God, Shark Tank in a hotel room. If there wasn't Shark Tank available, I would just sit quietly in my hotel room and just stare at the wall. And Shark Tank saves me from that. This is a thing. This is a thing in America that people, at least in the North, that people do, right? Shark Tank in hotel rooms.
Yeah, I think so. I probably consumed the most Shark Tank in a hotel room. It's not bad. Yeah, it's a good show.
It is a good show. I like it when the people's ideas are terrible.
Awful.
So then that makes it feel better.
Yeah.
I don't want to see like a regular person about to be a millionaire, because then I'm like, well, I'm a failure.
Especially when it's like, oh, you're a billionaire because you invented a sponge. Congratulations. Like,
yeah, that's usually what it is. Or like they take a thing and they put it on a stick. It's like, here's a thing that exists. Now it's on a stick. I can't believe I didn't do that. Okay, what are you eating?
So Wednesday was Jersey Mike's Day of Giving, which I guess like all their proceeds they give to local charities. Here in Columbus, that was like the Alzheimer's Association of Central Ohio, and I never had Jersey Mike's before, so I thought that was like probably the best time to try it for the first time, and it was pretty good. I got a chicken chipotle cheesesteak on a rosemary and Parmesan roll. And I added some bacon because you got to add bacon. And it was pretty tasty. I'm always skeptical of trying any place's cheesesteak and or chicken cheesesteak, being from Philadelphia, not when I'm outside of Philadelphia. But it was pretty good. Like, it was good enough that I want to go back and try some other stuff from Jersey Mike. So shout out to them for making a good sandwich, and shout out to them for, donating to local charities one day a year.
Look at you. You care about giving to people so much that you ate a chain restaurant cheesesteak.
That's right.
Because you care about your fellow man. Look at you.
I do. Yeah.
That's why it exists. It's like, how can we get those Philly guys to eat our cheesesteak? What if you gave money to people? You're such a big Philly teddy bear. Look at you. So we went to breakfast on this trip, and we went to a place that had like good breakfast buns, right? Like a cinnamon roll, like a Cinnabon type of bun. But they also had savory buns. So it's the same kind of bun, but then you just they jammed like sausage and broccoli and cheese in this morning breakfast bun. And I am just curious about like the encroachment of savory into the sweet world. And I feel like it started with ice creams, where it's like, right? I mean, they were like, everything had been done in ice cream. And they were like, what else could we do? And they were like, what if you made ice cream salty? We're like, okay. So where are you on savory encroachment into sweetness? Do you enjoy it? Because there's a particular thing that has happened that I think is the line in the sand of like, okay, we can't do that anymore. But like, this bun was good, but it's like 9:00 in the morning, and I'm taking like a big bite of broccoli within this bun that it just took me a little bit to like get my head around.
Yeah, I'm in favor of the encroachment because I'm more of a savory than I am a sweet guy. I like a sweet, but I prefer a savory. So like, if you're gonna take some of the vessels of sweet food but impart some savoriness to them, then I'm very much about that.
Yeah. So like, I think that's coming. I think soon enough you will be at the mall and Cinnabon will be like, do you want a chicken, mushroom, and sun-dried tomato roll, right? And your answer will be yes?
No, not in that specific example. If I'm at a Cinnabon, I'm still getting the cinnamon roll. But
okay,
I like the option of like give me like a bacon, egg, and cheese bun. I'd eat that.
Okay. Just be careful. Just like the savory creep. Be careful out there, people. The line in the sand for me is have you had the granola bars? They've been out for a while now. I bought them when they came out, and they're still in our pantry because I ate one and I was like, bleh. It's the Everything Bagel granola bar, which is like, a granola bar is not supposed to taste like this. It tastes like a foot, kind of. It is. That's it. Yeah. I think the person who invented the Everything Bagel granola bar is fired. It is not.
Yeah, I don't want that. Also, the original name of the show was Savory Creeps, so we changed it.
Yeah. Now I kind of want to sing a song, like what the theme song of Savory Creeps would be. And I'm a savory creep. What are you thinking about?
I don't know. I get like opening day is Thursday. I'm a baseball guy. I know you're less of a baseball guy than you used to be. We've talked about that on our other show. But now that the Phillies are good again, like, I look forward to opening day. Although it was kind of a bummer. They were supposed to open on Thursday against the Braves, and like, it got rained out on Wednesday. They're like, we're not going to play on Thursday. We're going to play on Friday now. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the Phillies. I'm excited about them trying to get back to the World Series. And I'm excited to watch them hopefully beat the Atlanta Braves this weekend, because there are not many sports teams left that I like actually harbor any kind of hatred for. But the Braves are one of them. The Braves and the Pittsburgh Penguins, I think, are the two.
That's a
I
good
like watching the
show.
Braves lose. Yeah.
Who you hate? We have to get more hate on this show, I think.
Mhm.
And one of the things is like, I just want to make sure that rivalries are great, but I don't want people in the North to only hate their rivals. I want to make sure they hate the South also. So I don't want to. I don't want to lessen the hate of your natural rival, right? I mean, like I want Oregon to hate Oregon State, and I want Michigan and Ohio State to hate each other, and I want Rutgers and Maryland to hate each other for the Amtrak Bowl. But like, we also want to make sure that you hate the South. You know, what with the extra, you know, it's like hate creep. We already had savory creep. We want the hate. We want to creep a little bit into your rivalry hate and direct it towards another part of the country. So I do think we need to talk about hate. Talk more about hatred, and also make sure that we talk about how, like, when bad things happen, they're only bad. The thing that I've been thinking about, this happened. My daughter probably doesn't want me to talk about this. We were eating at a college dining hall, and she like was taking her tray back, and she dropped some stuff on the ground, like some ice fell and whatever. And she was like mad and kind of ruled out the college because nobody helped her. Like there were some college kids who were like, that's too bad. Too bad you dropped that ice on the floor, and didn't help her. And she was like, I am never coming here. And I respect that so much. But what I also respect, I respect people who, when they make a public mess, they clean it up. Because I was reminded of this. We were like at a science fair one time when my kids were like in 8th grade, and I was watching this boy, and he was at the water fountain, and like the water fountain overshot. You ever been at a water fountain where like it's too much juice, and you hit the button and it flies out of the water fountain area and lands on the ground? And most people, I think a lot of people at least, would be like, well, that wasn't my fault. They misfigured the water fountain. And this kid, like nobody was watching him except me. And this kid went and got paper towels and cleaned up the water on the ground by the water fountain. And I said to my daughters, I was like, marry that man. Like that is the truest test of a person when no one's watching, right? You make a public mess, because that's the thing, someone could slip on that. But nobody would blame you if you didn't clean it up. If you clean up your public mess when no one is watching, that is the true test of a fine human being. And so keep your eyes peeled for that. And just the same way, if my daughter was like ever on a date with somebody and like they did, I've told them that. Like if they leave a mess, I'm like, you're done. Out.
Yeah.
So
did you tell that kid?
I wanted to.
Like, hey, I was watching you from across the room, and I noticed that you cleaned up your mess.
That is 1,000% the kind of thing that I love to do. I love to walk up to people, get right in their face, and give them very specific praise about their actions. And I think I almost was like getting up to tell that kid that, and my daughters tackled me. We're like, dear God, please don't do that. Do not be the weird old man. But I wanted to tell this kid why he's going to go places in life, right? Hey, people are watching. People are watching, you know? I love specific praise. I do that after all my daughters' like theater shows and stuff. I walk up to like everybody in the cast and get right in their face and give them like 3 pieces of specific praise, what I liked about their performance. Not like, hey, great job. I like want them like very specific. I like to do it to athletes. I've walked up to, there was like a Division I athlete at my daughter's high school. It's like I sought out his parents and like sought him out and was like got in his face and was like, this is what I like about your game. Like, good luck to you. And my daughters just wanted
it's like, this guy is
fall in a hole and disappear. It's like, I'm not a scout. I'm a scout of the human race. And I am just pointing out people who are getting it done when nobody, not for the praise, but now you deserve it. So anyway, I'm a psycho. But pick up your stuff, people. Okay. You good? Did you like the Jeopardy? You'll bounce.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we need to, and I like the idea too of bringing on guests to play with us too. That could be fun.
Yeah. I thought Mike did a great job hosting, creating the questions. That was a lot of work for Mike. He came up with all those questions by himself, researched it, phrased it like it was Jeopardy. And thanks to Alex Trebek, the late great Alex Trebek from Canada, for like inspiring us to do this. Game of the North. All right. Thanks to Mike, who did an awesome job. Thanks to you guys for making Kings of the North part of your week. We will only do trivia. We'll get back to analyzing other stuff, but That was fun. He's Bill Landis. He finished second. I'm Doug Lesmerises. I won. And that was Kings of the North.